You woke up this morning, opened your phone, and before you even brushed your teeth, you added something to a cart. Don't lie.
I did do that this morning. It was a candle. It was a candle, okay?
And you told yourself it was self-care. You told yourself you deserved it. And somewhere, deep inside, that candle was not going to fix your life.
It wasn't. The candle is not the answer.
Today, we are dragging retail therapy, treat yourself culture, and every productivity app you've downloaded instead of sleeping, all the way to the finish line.
Grab a cup, settle in, got a story, where to begin? Heard a rumor, is it true? Let's get baited, me and you. Oh, it's coffee baited, freshly brewed and overstated. Silly thoughts and bad ideas. Pour another cup of cheers.
Hello, caffeine crew. Welcome back to Coffee Baited, the podcast where we sit, sip, and spiral together. I'm Bubbles.
I'm Ryder, your friendly neighborhood financial chaos correspondent.
That's a new title.
I felt it today. I really felt it. And joining us this episode, someone who I would describe as emotionally fluent in the language of the checkout page.
Oh my God, okay, we are starting like that.
Ruby is here. Ruby, tell the caffeine crew who you are.
I'm Ruby. I'm a professional overthinker, a full-time survivor of bad jobs and family group chats, and apparently a cautionary tale about online shopping.
You say cautionary tale, I say primary source.
That works. That absolutely works.
So today we are talking about impulse spending, the great treat yourself lie, and why our carts are somehow full, but our souls are empty.
Specifically, how brands convinced you that buying things is self-care. How the wellness industry became a storefront. And how you, yes, you, caffeine crew, bought a productivity app instead of going to sleep.
Guilty.
We are all guilty, but at least we're doing this together.
Squawk, guilty, and broke.
Mango is already in rare form today. Let's get into it.
Okay, I want to start with a confession round, because we cannot have this conversation without being honest about ourselves first. Ryder, I'm starting with you, because you brought us here today.
What?
You sent me 17 links last week, in one night.
Those were research.
One of them was a smart mop, Ryder.
A smart mop?
Okay, in my defense, it connects to an app, and it tracks your cleaning schedule, and I thought
You thought your mop needed Wi-Fi.
it was efficient. I did not buy it. I want that on record.
How close did you get?
I had my card out.
Ryder!
The point is, the cart gets full. That's the whole point. The cart gets full, and then you close the tab, and it sits there like a shopping graveyard, and you just pretend it never happened.
The cart graveyard. I have one. It's been 3 months.
Mine has seasons. Like I scroll back and I can see, oh, that was my winter era. That was my I need to reinvent myself era. That was my I'm fine, I'm not fine era.
Say more about that, because I feel like that's both very specific to you and also completely universal.
Okay, so every time work gets really bad, or my mom calls and it turns into a whole thing, I end up on my phone. And it starts with like, browsing, just looking. And then it becomes, okay, what if I had this? Like, what if I had this linen set, or this journal, or this specific brand of olive oil? Would I feel better?
And do you?
For like 4 minutes. And then it arrives and I'm already in the next spiral and I don't even open the box.
That hits.
Because it's not even about the thing. It's about the feeling right before you buy it. That little rush of, I have control. I made a decision. Something is coming.
Yes, the anticipation is the whole product. The thing itself is almost irrelevant.
That is the most honest thing anyone has said about impulse spending. You're not buying the thing. You're buying the feeling that something is about to change.
And brands know this, which is a whole conversation we need to get into.
Okay, can we talk about the productivity app thing? Because this is specifically a tech burnout, overstimulated, I'm optimizing my life kind of purchase. And I feel personally victimized by it.
Go off.
You're exhausted. You're burnt out. Your brain is fried. And instead of, I don't know, sleeping, touching grass, not looking at a screen, you download an app. A $9.99 per month app that gamifies your to-do list. And you spend an hour setting it up, categorizing, color coding, building a whole system. And then you go to bed at 2 a.m. having accomplished exactly nothing, except organizing the idea of productivity.
This is my Tuesday.
Every Tuesday.
And the worst part? The app has a wellness section. It has a breathing exercise built in. It's got a gratitude journal. It's a productivity app that also wants to be your therapist. And you paid for it. And you opened the breathing exercise once, one time, and never again.
I did the breathing exercise. One time. At 1 a.m. I rated it 3 stars.
3 stars for the breathing exercise.
The point is, we buy things to feel like we're solving problems. And sometimes the thing we're buying is designed to feel like a solution to the exact problem it's also causing.
Okay, hold that thought, because that is exactly what we're getting into next. All right, we want to go deeper here, because this is where it gets interesting. And by interesting, I mean slightly uncomfortable and also very illuminating. So let's talk about why we actually do this. Not just the I had a bad day version, but structurally. What is happening in the brain and in the market that creates the perfect conditions for impulse spending?
So there's a few things happening at once. First, and this is just neuroscience, dopamine. When you see something you want and you decide to buy it, your brain releases dopamine. Not when it arrives, when you decide. So the decision itself is the reward. Everything after that is basically just logistics.
Which is why unboxing videos are a whole genre. You're getting someone else's dopamine hit, vicariously.
Exactly. You watch someone else open a package and you get a mild version of their satisfaction. And platforms know this. Instagram knows. TikTok knows. They have engineered an entire visual economy around making you feel like everything you see is one tap away from being yours.
And not just owning it, but becoming someone. Like, this is where it gets really specific. It's not just, I want that bag. It's, I want the life that bag implies. Like, subconsciously, you're buying a version of yourself that you believe exists somewhere inside that purchase.
Say that again.
You're not buying the product. You're buying a version of yourself. A calmer version. A more put-together version. A version that wakes up and has a morning routine and matching towels and doesn't dread Monday mornings.
That's exactly what it is. Every purchase is a down payment on a life I want to be living.
And that is not weakness. That's not a character flaw. That is deeply, profoundly human. We are wired to want to become better versions of ourselves. Brands figured out how to exploit that instinct and sell it back to you at $49.99, plus shipping.
Plus the expedited shipping because you needed it to feel better immediately.
Can we talk about wellness specifically? Because this is the one that makes me the most, I don't even know the right word. Frustrated? Impressed? Both?
Frustressed.
The wellness industry. And I want to be clear, there is real wellness out there, real practices, real help. But the wellness industry has done this thing where they've completely blurred the line between taking care of yourself and consuming things. Like self-care used to mean sleep, community, rest. Now it's a $60 face roller and a $200 set of supplements you found on a podcast ad.
And the supplements come in a subscription box that you forgot to cancel.
I have a wellness subscription I have been meaning to cancel for 4 months. I have used one product out of 6 boxes.
That right there is the business model. The sell isn't the product. The sell is the idea that you are a person who invests in themselves, that you are the kind of person who has a wellness ritual. The box makes you feel like you've chosen to prioritize yourself.
Even if you're, quote, prioritizing yourself directly into a $45 monthly charge you never notice on your statement. Okay, I also want to call out something that's dressed up really nicely so people don't even clock it. The affordable luxury trap. The it's only problem.
Oh yes, it's only $12.
It's only $35. It's only $9.99 a month. And individually, all of those are true. $12 is nothing. But $12 plus $35 plus $9.99 plus the wellness box plus the one-click why not at some completely unrelated checkout, suddenly that is $400 a month that you cannot account for.
I genuinely could not tell you where half my money goes. And I'm not reckless. I'm not buying designer things. I'm buying $12 things, constantly.
The death by 1,000 small purchases. And the sneaky thing about small purchases is they never feel like a financial decision. Big purchases, you deliberate, you research, you sleep on it. A $14 impulse buy at the checkout, you don't even remember making that decision.
Squawk? That's not a treat. That's a habit.
Mango drop in pure truth.
I feel called out by the bird. Can I say something that's going to sound bad?
Always.
Sometimes I think the shopping itself is the self-care. Like the browsing, the selecting, the little moment of, this is for me. That feels good. The product is almost secondary. And I've started to wonder if that means I'm just really good at being manipulated, or if there's something missing that I'm trying to fill.
I think that's one of the most honest things you could admit. And I also think most people consuming at the rate we all do have had that exact thought at 2 a.m. and then closed the tab and opened a new one.
Because the alternative, the question of what's actually missing, is scarier than the purchase.
Yeah.
All right, we want to shift the lens a little bit because we've been, rightfully, breaking down the mechanics of all of this. But I think the more interesting question, at least to me, is what does it actually take to interrupt the pattern?
That's the hard part.
It is. Because it's not about willpower, is it? Like, just don't buy things is not advice. That's just judgment dressed up as a solution.
Right, because the behavior exists for a reason. Ruby, you mentioned earlier that shopping is emotional armor for you. That when things get hard, this is where you go.
Yeah, and it works temporarily. It genuinely does something. It's not like I'm making it up. I feel better, and then I feel worse. But in the moment, it works.
That's the thing about coping mechanisms. The ones that stick around are the ones that actually do something. The problem isn't that they work, it's what they cost. Not just financially, but in terms of what they let you avoid.
I think about this sometimes. My job is genuinely soul-crushing, and my family is complicated. And shopping gives me this tiny pocket of time where I'm just making a decision about something small and manageable and fully in my control. And nothing about my actual life feels that way right now.
That's real. And I think a lot of people listening to this know exactly what that feels like. Not because they're irresponsible, but because the life they're living is genuinely hard. And the tools available to handle it are, honestly, not great.
Like, we don't exactly have a culture that goes, hey, you're stressed? Here's a community. Here's rest. Here's support. We have, here's a 30% off code.
And the code expires in 2 hours, so you better decide fast.
That's actually the mechanism, though. The urgency, limited time, low stock. 3 other people are viewing this item. That's not just marketing, that's manufacturing anxiety. And then immediately offering to solve it with a purchase.
They create the problem and sell you the solution in the same breath.
I've never heard it put that way, but that is exactly what's happening every time I open an app on a bad day, isn't it?
The app knows you're on a bad day, by the way. The algorithm knows your patterns. It knows when you're most likely to buy.
Okay, that's a little terrifying.
It is terrifying. But also, and I want to make sure we say this, knowing it doesn't make you stupid for falling for it. It just means the system is extremely well designed. You are not the problem. But you can still choose to be the solution.
Here is the realization that changed things for me. The cart is full, and the soul is empty. And filling one has never once, not once, fixed the other.
That's the episode title, by the way.
I need that on a poster in my kitchen as a warning.
And I think the shift, and we're going to get into this more, is not stop buying things. It's learning to ask, what am I actually reaching for right now? Because sometimes it's a great deal on a jacket, and sometimes it's a cry for help dressed up in free returns.
I've returned a cry for help.
Free returns on those?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay, we're going to take a tiny breath, and then we're going to talk about what actually helps. Real things, not a 12-step program, not judgment, just honest, practical, small things.
All right, practical section. And I want to be upfront. None of us are financial advisors. None of us are therapists. We are just people who have thought really hard about this and made enough mistakes to have strong opinions.
Hard-earned opinions.
Expensive opinions. Literally.
Literally. Okay, first thing, and this is deceptively simple, the 24-hour rule. If you want to buy something that is not a necessity, put it in the cart and wait 24 hours. Not because you definitely won't buy it, but because it gives you a chance to feel if you still want it when you're not in the emotional moment that made you want it.
I've done this, and honestly, at least 60% of the time, I don't even think about it again. The urgency just dissolves.
What about the flash sales, though? The 2 hours only thing.
Those are psychological hostage situations, Ruby. The scarcity is almost always manufactured. Walk away from the hostage situation.
Okay, that's fair.
Second thing, and this is less about the spending and more about what's underneath it, start to notice the trigger. Not to shame yourself, just notice. Like, oh, I'm on my phone shopping right now. What happened today? Was it something at work? Family? Am I bored? Am I lonely? You don't have to solve it immediately. Just see it.
That sounds so simple. It's actually really hard.
Incredibly hard. Because you have to slow down right at the moment you most want to speed up and not think. But even just identifying it, I'm stress shopping right now, changes the quality of the decision a little bit.
Third one, and this might be controversial, do a cart audit. Once a month, go through your abandoned carts, your subscription charges, your I forgot I even signed up for this charges. Not to punish yourself, just to see. Because the invisibility of those small charges is part of the problem. You can't make good decisions about things you can't even see.
I am not ready for what I will find.
That feeling, that dread, that is important information.
And I'll add to that, the audit isn't about cutting everything. It's about making it intentional. Maybe you keep the wellness subscription, but now you know what it costs and you've decided it's worth it. That is a completely different relationship to money than just letting it drain quietly.
Intentional is the word. Like, I don't think the goal is to stop spending on yourself, because sometimes that linen set is genuinely delightful and makes your whole week. But there's a difference between, I chose this and I'm happy about it, and I bought this and I can't remember why.
Exactly. And the deeper advice, the one that takes longer but matters more, is doing the actual work on what you're trying to feel, which sounds heavy, but I don't mean it dramatically. I just mean the candle can be nice. The new journal can be great. But if work is genuinely terrible and your family situation is genuinely stressful, that needs something the cart doesn't sell.
I've been in therapy for 8 months, and that has done more for my relationship with my bank account than anything else. Because I started finding other places to put the feelings. The shopping didn't stop, but it became smaller, less desperate.
That's huge. That is really huge, Ruby. Thank you for saying that.
That's probably the most important thing said in this episode, and I want it to land. It's not about willpower. It's about what else you have in your toolkit to reach for when things get hard.
Build the toolkit. Stock it with things that actually help. And let shopping be something you enjoy from a place of abundance, not escape.
And be honest with yourself when it's escape. Because you usually know. You just tell yourself you don't.
Quick recap, 24-hour rule. Notice the trigger, cart audit. And the long game, actually deal with the thing underneath in whatever way works for you. Therapy, community, sleep, movement, real stuff.
Real stuff.
Squawk! Sleep is free, people!
Mango, most financially sound advice of the whole episode.
Okay, Caffeine Crew, we are at the end of this one. And I want to say, this episode got real in a really good way. Ruby, thank you for being so honest with us. For real.
Thank you for having me. And for making me feel like a real person and not just a mess.
You are a real person. Mess is part of it. Okay, big takeaway. Because we like to leave you with one thing you can actually hold on to. Your cart is not a substitute for your life. Treat yourself is not a lie, but treat yourself into debt to escape a life you haven't dealt with, that is. The real treat is building a life you don't need to escape from. One small, boring, unsexy decision at a time.
Okay, that was beautiful and also slightly devastating.
Going straight into my phone notes. Immediately.
Ryder, close us out.
Okay, Caffeine Crew. If this episode hit, if you laughed, if you winced, if you quietly put your phone down and thought, okay, fair, hit that like button, subscribe if you aren't already, and share this with the friend who just sent you a shopping link. You know exactly who that friend is. And if you want to help us keep the lights on and the coffee flowing, we have a support page, a direct way to back the show. Link is in the description. I'm Ryder.
I'm Bubbles.
And I'm Ruby, your cautionary tale and your biggest fan.
Squawk! Close the tab!
We'll see you next time, Caffeine Crew. Stay caffeinated, stay honest, and maybe check your cart.